All right, so in this next part, we're gonna do what if we're given the long leg, and this is by far the trickiest part. All right, so we have the long leg. Now we can just do the rules in reverse that we already talked about, but let's use Pythagorean theorem first. Let's just use brute force. So I'm gonna call the short leg x, which make the hypotenuse 2x. All right, so again, this is gonna be brutal. Let's see how we can do the 5 squared plus x squared equals parentheses 2x squared. All right, that's gonna make this 25 plus x squared equals, well, I'm gonna get 2 squared x squared, so 25 plus x squared equals 4x squared. All right, subtract x squared from both sides, and we're gonna get 25 equals 3x squared. Whew. All right, now again, I admitted this is brutal. We can do it though. Reverse order of operations. I'm just gonna rewrite things. All right, so I'm gonna divide before I do the square root, and that's why I get x squared equals 25 over 3. Take the square root of both sides, and that's gonna equal the square root of 25 over the square root of 3, which simplifies to x equals 5 over radical 3. Whew. All right, brutal, absolutely brutal. We got this though, believe in yourself. Now we gotta rationalize the denominator. All right, so remember, radical 3 is on the denominator. We wanna rationalize it, so I'm gonna multiply both top and bottom by radical 3. So the final answer is 5 radical 3 over 3. That's what x equals. All right, so x equals 5 radical 3 over 3. And then to find what the hypotenuse is, we just got to multiply that by 2, which isn't too scary. It's just going to be 10 radical 3 over 3. All right, insane math. So long leg was 5, then we had 5 radical 3 over 3, and 10 radical 3 over 3. All right, a little bit brutal, but let's just do it again. Worst case scenario, we're just getting better at math. All right, so long leg 12, short leg x, hypotenuse 2x, because hypotenuse is double the short leg. All right, cool beans. Now we're going to just use Pythagorean theorem again, and this should look a little familiar from last time because a lot of it's the same computations, a lot of the same setup. So we get 144 plus x squared equals 4x squared. Subtract x squared from both sides. Cool beans. All right, headed in the right direction. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And we're going to get x squared equals 144 divided by 3. Take the square root of both sides. That's going to make that a square root of 144 over the square root of 3, which is going to become x 12 radical 3. And then we got to rationalize the denominator again. Whew. All right, remember I picked radical 3 because we want to get rid of the radicals on the denominator, which is exactly what happened. And then we have 12 over 3, so just 4 radical 3. All right, so the short leg ended up being 4 radical 3, and then just to find the hypotenuse times by 2, the hypotenuse would be 8 radical 3. Very intense with calculations and number sense and square roots. Very intense, but we will get good at it. All right, so what does this mean? Well, now this is given the long leg. Given long leg. All right, this is the pattern right here. This is the hard part. So we're going to say long leg equals x. That means all we do to get to the short leg is we divide by radical 3 or multiply by radical 3 over 3. Just depending on how you want to think about it. Are we rationalizing the denominator? So on and so forth. So I'm going to say the short leg equals x over radical 3 or x equals radical 3 over 3. Just depending on the information you have and how you want to attack the problem. And then to get to the hypotenuse, it's just times 2. So the hypotenuse equals 2x over radical 3 or 2x radical 3 over 3. Ooh, a lot going on. A lot going on. Hopefully it's getting you guys excited for all this challenge. So the short leg equals the long leg divided by radical 3 or long leg radical 3 over 3. And then the hypotenuse equals 2 times the long leg divided by radical 3 or 2 times the long leg times radical 3 over 3. All right, seems scary, but don't worry, we're going to practice it and we're going to get really, really good at it. All right, so this is all it means right here is find the missing sides of the triangles below. In this case right here, let's do it like this. This case right here, since we have a whole number, there's no radical or nothing, I'm going to just multiply by radical 3 over 3 to find the short leg. All right, so x is just going to equal 15 times radical 3 over 3, which is just 5 radical 3. Not bad at all. And then over here, to get to the hypotenuse, you're just going to times it by 2. So it's going to just be 10 radical 3. That's it. All right, now let me change this problem really fast. Instead of that being 14, I'm going to call that x, and I'm going to call this side 14 radical 3 for fun. In this case right here, we're given radical 3, so we're just going to divide both sides by radical 3. Since we can just, instead of multiplying by 4 or radical 3 over 3, we can just divide, and essentially we just remove it, and then bada bing, bada boom, not too bad, and we get all the other values. All right, the short leg is just 14 then, and the hypotenuse is 28. All right, we're going to put it all together in the next video. Stay tuned.